You're listening to the Overcast, your joke-making, fun-having pop culture podcast, brought to you by Oversoul Gaming.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Overcast. I'm Justin,
And I'm Nick.
and together we're bringing you sunshine on a cloudy day. And I know what you're thinking. You probably have a lot of questions. First of all, is that a new intro and a new cold open? Absolutely it is. Are you shamelessly advertising your own YouTube channel on this podcast? You bet your goddamn ass I am. Also, where is that third cast member that you promised us? Well, he had a bit of a vet emergency and wasn't able to join us for the first episode like initially planned. Although before this emergency, he had every intention of being here. But you can't help it when sometimes shit happens. It just happens. Life happens. You can't help that. People don't wake up in the morning and plan for a vet emergency to become a thing. That just kind of gets sprung upon you at the last minute, and it's usually never a good thing. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, he was unable to join us for this episode. But what's more important is that his dog is okay. You know,
Yes.
there'll be other episodes. He can join us anytime. The plan, as of right now, is still to have him join us officially as the third cast member on the show, and that should be starting with the next episode. Granted, everything is okay, you know. So, so yeah, hopefully everything is fine. He's still at the vet right now as we speak, so I can't really. I have no update for you, but. In the meantime, we're going to follow our usual plan. It's the season premiere, so you know what that means. Time to do a 2024 year in review.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to look back on all of the best, worst, and blandest media that 2024 had to offer and pick our top game, movie, TV show, and I guess either song or album of the year and other things too.
It's going to be tough to do a song, so it's going to have to be an album of the year.
Fair enough.
At least for me.
Fair enough. Yeah. But before that, it'll be the usual life updates, media corner, yada yada. And moving forward, since there will be, as the plan is standing right now, 3 cast members on this show, the media corner will only have 3 items every episode moving forward, 1 for each of us. In this episode, however, Nick will have 2 things for you, and I'll have 1. He's gonna fill in that empty third spot this time.
Yes.
So, and he'll transition us nicely into the topic by doing so. But before all that, life updates. Nick, I want to hear about your Christmas and your New Year's, which for you was also a birthday.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Christmas was... It was a good Christmas. My daughter made out like a goddamn bandit. She got a Barbie dream house. She got a camera with unicorns on it, and it's got games on it too. Weird. It's a kid's camera. It's what she asked for from Santa, so. And see, I got her. So you know how weighted blankets are a thing?
Yes.
They also have weighted stuffed animals. Sarah and I made a trip to the Merle Hay Mall about a month or so before Christmas, and we went into Hot Topic, and I found a weighted Stitch plushie. She loves Stitch, and one of the first things
I wonder where she gets that from.
Howl.
Oh, by the way, it just slipped my mind. I forgot to mention that I also mentioned in the last episode that there would have been a guest in this episode too, so there would have been 4 people here, and there's again it's just us. So yeah, that didn't work out either, as he got called into work. So
Yes, he
sorry
did.
about that too. Again,
Yes.
it's another out of our hands, out of their hands life situation that just sprung on them last minute. And
Pretty
kinda,
much. Yes.
the planets did not align today. It
No.
was just not in the cards. So,
It happens.
anyways,
Okay.
please continue.
So, see, what else did she get? She got a tent, a Mighty Pups Paw Patrol, uh, camping set with a tent, flashlight, and sleeping bag.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. She got so the school put together some Christmas presents for her, and this is what I mean by she made out like a bandit. She got a lot of stuff. Um, she got a necklace that had 2 pendants on it. It had a Stitch pendant, and on the back of that Stitch pendant, um, it said "Just a girl that loves Stitch,"
Huh.
and the other pendant was a W for Willow.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, she got another plushie, Joy from Inside Out. She got a stuffed Joy. Joy is her favorite.
Makes sense.
Let's see. So I got Sarah a shirt from the TikTok shop, and it's got 4 Harry Potter characters on the back. It's got Dumbledore, McGonagall, Snape, and Hagrid. Why those 4? Because those 4 are no longer with us, and that is a tribute shirt to those 4 actors and characters. And I got that shirt
Okay.
for her because I knew she would love it.
Very nice.
I also got her a giant Fuecoco Squishmallow.
Who that?
Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Fuecoco. He's one of the newer generation starter Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm getting old, Sonny. I remember when the Pokemons was just 150.
Oh, dude, real quick. I took a picture of something at work today, and I had every intention on sending it to you because why not? Check your messages real quick.
Why not is also probably the name of a Pokemon. Mrs. Renfro's Ghost Pepper Salsa. What's the context?
Bring back any memories?
Yes, you and your just a spoonful of salsa makes the Nicholas go. I don't know how to finish that.
Dude. Oh, but no, I also got her. It's a, it was. I forget what the mug says, but it's a chocolate cake type thing. But it was a Harry Potter themed chocolate cake in a mug.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's kind of fun.
yeah. And then I got her the tickets to go see the. We're gonna go see the Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince in concert. Basically, they played the movie up on the big screen and had the live orchestra. That was the big Christmas gift for her.
Yes, I do remember you mentioning that
Yeah.
before.
And then I kind of I did. I made it like a bandit as well. I got the AirPod 4s with active noise cancellation. The reason I wanted those ones specifically is because of the conversation awareness. Basically, what it does is when someone starts talking to me or I start talking to someone, it will automatically lower the volume of whatever I'm listening to so that I can hear what the other person is saying to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. I got a uh I got a Bray Wyatt T-shirt, one of the new so a Wyatt 6 T-shirt. But Bray Wyatt is the main focal point to the design on the shirt. I sent you the picture.
Right, right.
I got a new Has Been Hotel T-shirt. It says a loser just like me, and it's got Angel Dust and Husker on it. And I got a CM Punk shirt. What Sarah had accidentally got the youth medium, so we yeah she printed out the uh return label, and we got another shirt, another CM Punk shirt in the correct size.
You could have made the most of it. You could always, crop topped it at the next Pride Parade or whatever.
I mean, uh, no, that wouldn't have fit me. There would have been no trying.
No, I mean that's the point. Like it doesn't go all the way down.
I wouldn't have been able to get my arms into it.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I wouldn't have been able to fit it over my head. It's too small.
It'd be like a girdle.
Yes.
All right then.
Uh, um, I also got a physical copy of the PS5 remaster of Until Dawn, and I have played most of the through it already, and a lot of the new scenes are all at the beginning.
Fair enough.
And
Although I did hear that throughout it they changed some of the camera angles and they changed where you find totems.
yes,
And the totems work a little
the
differently too.
the totems work totally different now. So basically, you hold it up like from you're holding it in your hand. Whatever character you're playing as, they hold the totem in their hand, and you literally have to move it around until a sliver of light comes through, revealing the premonition.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool. And with that, I got a $50 PlayStation gift card. Though both of those I got from Sarah's brother Tom. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, he and with that gift card, I got Sonic X Shadows Generations.
Yes.
It was a smart buy because I knew nothing about Shadow going into seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 3 with my daughter the day after Christmas. So I did. I watched the little clip that they had on the Shadow side of the game, basically explaining Shadow's story, and I can agree with you that they definitely did his story justice in the third film.
His parts of that movie are, in my opinion,
Oh, I
anyways,
fucking loved it.
the best parts of the entire movie, easily.
I loved it. I did. I chuckled
so-
when
So that
I-
clip explains the story of Sonic Adventure 2, basically.
Mm-hmm.
the old Sega Dreamcast game, and then also the motorcycle shit and him holding the gun and on the motorcycle is from the PS2 game Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Is what that's from. But most of the story of that movie is taken from Sonic Adventure 2, which was Shadow's introduction to the series.
Okay. I did. I did chuckle when Dr. Robotnik said, "Where'd you go, Hedgehog? I wasn't done trauma dumping." It was
Yes,
fucking fun. It was fucking funny.
that line was genuinely funny. But
Yeah, it was.
I'm starting to think that maybe I'm just nuts. But I will go on record here and say that I talked to Brooksy about it, and he saw the movie in the theaters, and I think he gave it a 7.5. He kind of agreed with me on some points. He said in particular the Konichi what was really
I
really
loved
cringe.
it. I loved it. I loved it. It was so funny.
There's so much cringe in that movie. Why is it? I mean, I don't know why. I think him and I might be on an island because I'm seeing nothing but positive reception for it online, and I think maybe
Yeah, I
I'm
heard
wrong.
rumors. That
I think I might.
I heard rumors.
Might actually be wrong about this movie.
I heard rumors that Disney was talking about acquiring Sega so that they don't have to suffer the box office loss again.
I need to give it another watch. Maybe being around an audience that didn't seem to enjoy it affected me because the theater was full and everyone seemed highly unimpressed.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I highly enjoyed it.
Huh.
But and I Sarah also got me a mount for my phone in the car, so I can
Oh, nice.
so I
Yeah,
can
that's useful.
yeah so I can have my phone up for GPS.
Yeah, so you can watch your favorite YouTube videos while you're driving.
No,
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah,
nope. GPS,
yeah,
GPS only.
PSA and all that. Yes.
GPS or
Remember,
nothing at all.
This is a comedy show, and I use that term very loosely.
Yes.
We take no legal responsibility for your stupidity.
That. And then for New Year's, well, so we went to, I invited a buddy of mine from work, to the Ring in the New Year game for the Iowa Wild, and they were
Ooh.
just so happened to be playing my home team, the Rockford Ice Hogs, and so it was the Ring in the New Year game. So it was essentially my birthday game. So Sarah, she made it awesome. She made sure to go up to fan relations and made sure to get my name up on that big video board for when they do the birthday shout outs. And it said happy early birthday, Nick, up on the big video board. I got a picture of it too.
Nice.
Yeah. And then they had post game fireworks, and what also made this game so special is, yes, it was the Ring in the New Year game. Yes, it was my birthday game, but my home team won. I'm glad that the Ice Hogs won that game. Mitchell Weeks, their goalie, redeemed himself after the last few times that they have played, because the last couple times they played prior to that, they weren't doing too hot, and Weeks got a lot of shit to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, the fans in the attack zone are fucking brutal. There was a fan that went, "Hey, Weeks, that goalie's better than," so they pulled him. So there was no goalie in the net. They do that so that they can get an extra attacker on the ice uh for the Ice Hogs. The team that was playing hockey were doing a better job at defending the goal than Mitchell Weeks. And there was a random fan, a random Iowa fan that shouted, "Hey, Weeks! This goalie's better than you."
Damn.
Yeah, no, dude, it that was a good one. I did chuckle a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but goddamn, that fucking hurts.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, but no, it was a good game. There was some decent hockey fights too. Um, let's see, and then for my birthday, um, New Year's Day, we got up, we went to the Jordan Creek Mall here in Des Moines, or in West Des Moines, and we the richer part of town is West Des Moines. Um, they we went to the Jordan Creek Mall, and we went to box lunch, and I picked out two things because they had a buy one get one half off on apparel. So I picked out a Hogwarts hockey jersey, and on the back it says H Potter with the number 07, and a Deadpool and Wolverine T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
And the Cinemark that we went to was inside the mall. And no, it is not a dying mall. That mall is thriving, and it's easily comparable to uh Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg. It's almost like the mall was built around the movie theater.
Huh.
Yeah, dude, this mall is fucking huge. There's an Apple store in this mall. There's a Lego store. Let's see, what else do they got? Dude, man, box lunch, Hot Topic, bunch of stuff. But no, man, then they've got the Cinemark. But we went to Cinemark, me, my daughter, and Sarah. We all went to go see the sing along edition of Wicked. And you bet your ass, I belted out every song I could, because why if I paid for if I why not if I paid for the sing along tickets, right?
Got them all memorized already, do you?
Dude, yes. Well, they had the lyrics up on the screen. Know how like you would see like the words up on the screen for like the Disney sing-alongs,
Ah, yes.
just like that.
With the bouncing ball and everything?
Well, they had not they didn't have a bouncing ball, but they had like glittery type stuff. Um, uh,
Fair enough. I get what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. And I will have my own copy of this film in steelbook form, 4K steelbook form, by February 3rd. I cannot wait.
Pre-ordered it, did you?
Sure the fuck did, because I told myself I was not going to miss out on another steelbook. And sure enough, I went and checked earlier, and it was sold out. So I am so glad I pre-ordered this shit, because I would have missed out on yet another steelbook movie.
Fair enough.
I learned my lesson by not pre-ordering Deadpool and Wolverine. But yeah, no, and then We went to a local burger joint for my birthday lunch slash dinner. Local burger joint called Zombie Burger and Drink Lab. And the burger that I had was called "They're Coming to Get You, Barbara."
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
and dude, the it was two burger patties with two slices of cheese, caramelized with caramelized onion and zombie sauce on two grilled cheese sandwiches. The bun was a grilled cheese were two grilled cheese sandwiches. It was fucking delicious. And for my free birthday shake, I went with the zombie unicorn, which was vanilla ice cream, marshmallow cream, and fruity pebbles. It was so fucking good.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. It was so yummy. Dude, the burger was so filling. I could barely finish it. There was a tiny bit left. Not enough to take home. There was not enough to take home and save for later. But it was so good.
Well, it sounds like you had a hell of a birthday and New Year's.
Hell yeah.
Did you stay up late New Year's Eve?
Yeah, we did. Sarah and I we stayed up. We stayed up until the ball dropped in New York and at 11, and then we we went to bed at 11, but we didn't go to sleep until like after midnight. I had people blowing my phone up, wishing me happy birthday and posting on my timeline.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good shit.
How was your Christmas, bro?
Yeah, so my mom and I traveled up to Wisconsin to Ryan and Carissa's place, and
Yeah.
our family and some of his family was there. So, like, his mom and dad, and his sister, and her husband and daughter.
Nice.
And we had like a little pick and graze brunch thing. Ryan made homemade biscuits and gravy, and oh my god, they were so good. Um, did it all from scratch, I understand. So
Nice.
gave it a first time go, and God was yeah, they were good. They were really good. Um, yeah, we had all kinds of stuff to sit there and pick at. There was like different cookies and donuts and that, and there was like a meat and cheese tray and a vegetable tray and a fruit tray and all kinds
Ooh.
of soda and and eggnog and all that stuff. A
Nice.
shrimp cocktail tray.
Okay.
Yeah. The pickle roll ups, deviled eggs.
Nice.
Yeah, there was a lot. um, and then we did gifts, and I already said in the last episode the gifts that I was getting people. But I actually, after we recorded that, went out and got one more thing for Ryan and one more thing for my mom. Ryan's loving Astrobot so far, by the way, as far as I can tell. He's having a blast with it.
Nice.
Yes. But I actually went out and got him. I wanted to get him the full collection of Dexter's Laboratory because that was his favorite Cartoon Network show.
Nice.
To understand, and or at least among the cartoons section of that. And that one was a bit much, but I got him the next best one in line for him personally: Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Nice.
the entire series on DVD,
Very nice.
which was priced very reasonably, actually.
Nice.
And my mom, I got her a collection of those classic like TV special Christmas stop motion animation shows like
Okay.
Rudolph and the elf that wants to be a dentist and all that, and
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I'm Mr. Heat Miser, I'm Mr. Sun, dun dun, you know, you
Yeah.
remember those? Yeah,
I do.
the Island of Misfit Toys and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's got a bunch of those on it, is what it was. Collection I found at Walmart. So yeah, but as for me, I ended up getting gifts. Well, Dalton and Lindsay got everyone gift cards for Amazon, and I used mine. I used mine to buy, because they were like, "You all got Amazon wish lists. Just get something from your wish list." Fair enough. So I got the 4K 4K Blu-ray re-release of the South Park movie,
Nice.
bigger, longer, and uncut.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I sat through it once, and it's just as good as I remember. Speaking of musicals, it was a musical too.
Hell yeah, it was.
Um, and yeah, and also one of the special features is a sing-along version of it.
Nice. There you go.
So, yep. And yeah, and then DVD commentary and all that fun stuff too. Um, so I also got, um, speaking of Blu-rays, one of my gifts was the 4K HD version of Talk to Me on Blu-ray.
Was that a steelbook?
No, no, but a really nice slipcover.
Nice.
And it too came with some great bonus features, including deleted scenes and like a whole like behind the scenes documentary that I already watched and loved. It was
Nice.
pretty insightful. Um, some great stuff in there. Uh, I also got, so there's this book, Kingdom Hearts: The Character Files, which is like literally an extensive book that breaks down every single character throughout the entire Kingdom Hearts series, and gives their entire biography and every game they were in and all of that. It's basically like having the Kingdom Hearts wiki in a book form, uh, more or less. Except it's focused specifically on characters almost, and most of it is written from Sora's perspective. Um, from how I'm reading it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's everything from the very beginning of the series up until right now. So it's a very recent book.
Okay.
Um, and I also got this comic book that is a story about the history of video games and like how they came to be. It's a very nerd thing because it's like the history of video games told in comic book form,
Nice.
um, which is really cool. And um, I'm trying to think. Oh, video games, a couple of those, right? I got the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which is
Nice.
six games that were all originally on the Game Boy Advance, I want to say, and they
Okay.
were Mega Man games turned into like a turn-based RPG instead of the usual Mega Man thing. It was like you're walking on a map and then you touch an enemy and you go into battle on them, and it's like a grid system, kind of like South Park: The Fractured Butthole. It worked like that with
Okay.
with you have the blue squares and your enemy has the red squares on a side-scrolling map.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like that. Um, and you equip chips to your Mega Man to do different attacks, and that's inside the computer worlds. But then you also play as this kid that lives in the real world, and basically he can jack into different electronics, and when he does, he basically summons Mega Man into the digital world, and like fights viruses and stuff uh, to solve different problems.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's really, they're not like full remakes or remasters or anything. They're basically upscaled ports of the original Game Boy Advance versions with the options to like have the old pixelated graphics or slightly smoothed out newer graphics, and a border around the screen to fill in the black bars because it's an older game. So, um, But I also got Rise of the Ronin, which was a game that came out last year, in the beginning of the year, that I never got around to trying, but always wanted to. I heard it's great if you like Assassin's Creed.
Hmm.
So, and a horror trivia card game that I'd like to play on this podcast with you, me, and Brooksy. Well, it would really kind of be you and him competing against each other. It would be our Halloween episode
Yeah.
for this year. As I read these horror questions off these cards, there's some good ones in here, So that'll be fun. I also got a Final Fantasy VII book, On the Way to a Smile. The book I got last year or the year before, whatever it was, is a prequel to the remake trilogy.
Okay.
This book, Final Fantasy VII On the Way to a Smile, is a prequel to the movie Advent Children.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and the name of the comic book I got is The Comic Book Story of Video Games: The Incredible History of the Electronic Gaming Revolution.
Nice.
So, um, and those were my gifticles for the most part, aside from a few odds and ends, like a tiny, like, Squishmallow keychain and some, candy stocking stuffers. Outside of all that, um, didn't really do a whole lot else. Haven't really done a whole lot else. Just been kind of chilling, catching up on the games. Uh, the top 10 thing went well. By the time y'all are hearing this, the winners will have been announced. Uh, I can safely say, Nick, that I'm pretty sure you were one of the $20 winners.
Yeah, I'm
So
pretty sure. As soon as I saw that Persona 3 was on there, I'm like, God damn it. I could have changed my answer, but no, I chose not to. That's
yeah,
okay.
it's
That's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, I had to bite my tongue, but the first time when you changed your answer, I had to laugh because you replaced, because you got rid of the wrong thing but replaced it with the right thing, and I was like, no, that just puts you back to where you were. And then when you saw the dragon in the thumbnail, then you fixed it, but you were
Yeah.
still one off.
Yeah.
But that one point could have made or broke the difference between you being one of the $20 winners, because
Mhm.
if anyone else got 9 of them correct, then and you had only had 8, then you would have gone home empty-handed this time.
Yeah.
So, all I will say though, by the way, is that there are more $50 winners than I thought there would be in this one.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations, by the way, to both Ryan and Brooksy, who are both got everything correct.
Nice.
Everything. So, yeah, moving forward, I will definitely be sticking with the same rules, the same tier based system, because I think it worked better, and the same 15 instead of 20 nominees to up the chances, but also in lieu of the hints, like the usual, like, there's 2 games from the same developer type of hints, I'm going to be doing that crossword style riddle thing instead from now on, because people seem to really like that.
Yeah, that was really
Uh,
cool.
it was fun to make, and it seemed to be fun to solve for people, so
Mhm.
we're gonna stick with that.
So,
um
I'd be amiss if I didn't
I think
mention
I think it's I think it's I think you say that a lot. I think it's remiss. I just wanted to tell you that. R
rem,
with an R at the beginning. R-E
re,
miss.
okay. So, I my daughter got me a an ugly sweater with Deadpool on it, and
Nice.
it says, "I can get you on the naughty list." And
Nice.
then I also got a little Funko Pop from Sarah. It's a Stitch with Christmas lights. And
Ooh, very
one
very nice.
other thing that Sarah got me for my birthday, she got me an Ice Hogs hoodie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And she had ordered it like a week prior to my birthday, and they still hadn't gotten back to her. So they called her 1 day, and because they didn't have the hoodie that she initially ordered, so they picked it, took a picture of like four different ones, and she she picked it out. She picked out the one that she wanted to get for me, uh, out of the four. But a as a happy birthday and a sorry this took so long to get to you kind of thing, they threw in a little something for my birthday, and that little something was a T-shirt, a little tapestry banner type thing with my favorite goalie that ever played for the Rockford Ice Hogs, Corey Crawford, who went on to play for the Chicago
Hmm.
Blackhawks, and it had all of his. It's got his name, number, and all of his accomplishments with the Rockford Ice Hogs on the back of it. I also got a scarf and a Christmas stocking with the Ice Hogs logo on it.
Very nice.
Yeah, all courtesy of the Rockford Ice Hogs. It's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Besides everything else I said, all I can think of is that uh, you know, continuing my Star Wars adventure,
There you go.
got into the wanting to replay all the Dragon Age games, scratch that itch, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on Inquisition
Fair
because
enough.
that's the speed bump. Um, but I didn't really do much for New Year's. I just kind of stayed up till midnight and said yay, and then went to sleep. That's good.
New Year's Eve is always that one night a year that I indulge myself in a little more alcohol than I usually would.
Yeah, I don't really drink much anymore. I did think about having a glass of rum that night, but I got too lazy to do
I
it.
bought
So,
a 12 pack of Angry Orchard and called it a night.
I mean, fair enough.
I say
Your
that's
birthday
yeah,
too,
that's
so
six for me, six for Sarah. So we didn't even we still have some in the fridge. We didn't even drink the whole 12 the whole 12 pack that night.
yeah, we're getting old. We just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, no. Last year though.
Fair enough. Well, alrighty then. I think that pretty much covers the life updates. I
Yeah,
can't think of anything else going on. I don't got no significant shit happening
fair enough.
for the most part. So, onward then to the media corner.
Let's mosey on over.
We're watching the TV.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Media Corner, the part of the show reserved for news, reviews, and recommendations, and sometimes previews. And in this episode, like I said, since we are San's first cast member, third cast member on first day is what I meant to say. Me cutting out half of my sentence here. Um, Nick is going to take that third spot, so he's going to have two things. I'm going to have one thing. And just a quick update before we do that, by the way, I am happy to announce that that the vet emergency that Brooksy had to take care of, everything is fine. Everything is good, and he will be joining us for sure in the next episode, and then forward from there.
Yes.
So, Nick is going to start us off because it'll be him, me, him for this.
Yes.
Your first thing,
So
my lad.
I want to after opening presents on Christmas at Sarah's mom and dad's house, we as a family went to go see Mufasa.
Mmm.
Yeah. So this one, it's it's kind of it is kind of like a prequel within a sequel, because it does. It opens up on Kiara, Simba's daughter, and Rafiki, Timon, and Pumbaa all telling the story of Mufasa.
Ah,
They
yeah, that's
did.
right. Simba had a daughter. Somebody felt the love that night.
Right. So they did before the movie even started rolling. They made sure to fit in a tribute to the late great James Earl Jones, the OG voice of Mufasa.
Damn straight.
I am so glad that they fucking did that.
Hell yeah.
But this movie, you base you find out how Mufasa came to be the king of Pride Rock. And it didn't come without its sacrifices. Um he had to do some things he wasn't proud of.
Oh, I bet.
We found out how Scar became Scar. Not gonna say anything other than that because that would be spoilery. But we do find out how Scar became Scar.
I bet you it's the same as how Nick Fury got the scar across his face. Cat scratch fever.
You'd be surprised. There is a lot going on in this movie, and I understand why Sonic the Hedgehog 3 beat it in box office opening weekend.
You understand why it beat it? Okay.
Yes,
That sounds like you had some problems with this movie.
I did. I had a lot of
Oh.
problems with this movie.
Oh, okay.
This is a fucking
I was
Disney
not
movie, right?
expect-
No, it was.
I
Dude,
was not expecting that.
I they're more me problems. There's nothing wrong with the movie. I just they could have done a little less with cutting back to Rafiki, Timon, and Pumbaa and just kept going on with the story. Don't get me wrong, I love the comic relief between Timon and Pumbaa, but it was a little much in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured they were going to jump back to their framing device quite a bit. You don't do a story about a story being told without jumping back to the storyteller every now and then.
Yeah, and the comic relief on I could have done without Timon and Pumbaa in this one, and that's saying a lot because those two are my favorite characters in the Lion King
Really?
franchise. Yes. They could have done without them in this, and they could have done this entire story with Rafiki.
So they're more of a distraction.
Yeah,
you're
yes,
saying.
because okay, so here's my thing.
Oh, I love
Because
this. Keep going.
okay, it's no secret. The only reason Rafiki knows the story of Mufasa because at some point he ends up meeting up with Mufasa. That's how else would they know each other, right? How else would Rafiki know the story of Mufasa?
Oh, they clearly had history.
Yes, they clearly had history. So when Rafiki gets to the point where Rafiki joins the story, they cut back to Timon and Pumbaa and Rafiki and Kiara, and they're like, "Wow, you put yourself in this story? I'm sure we're in this story somewhere. They are nowhere in this story. They tried to make it about them. They could have done without Timon and Pumbaa. I love Seth Rogen, and I love the fact that they got him to play Pumbaa, but they could have done without them.
That just makes them sound stupid.
Dude.
Like that's one of two things. Either that's blatant sarcasm, like, oh, Mr. High and Mighty put himself in the story as if to not believe he was there, or
right.
it's just plain stupidity, as in, oh, you put yourself in the story, put it in. Like, no, idiot, he was actually there. Yeah,
he was actually fucking there. Yeah,
I see.
Timon and Pumbaa were an annoyance in this one. For that, I give it a 7.5.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Mufasa currently has a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Ooh, I was generous.
And a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it was not that great.
7 out of 10 on Screen Rant. Okay. Well, I've got something that's a little more great but kind of fluctuates, because this is a TV show, well, a streaming show, called Secret Level. It's on Amazon Prime, and this was announced at Summer Game Fest last year.
Okay.
You may remember.
Yes, I remember.
And it was a big deal because it was like, oh, there's all these episodes based on different games and all these different people involved. Yeah, and some of these were a little ambitious, but I'm gonna tell you, some of these episodes are great. There's a couple of them that are kind of but most of them are pretty good. And some of the episodes serve as prequels to the games they're based on. Some of them serve as sequels to the games they're based on. And some of them serve as advertisements for upcoming games, more or less.
Nice.
Or some kind of expanded lore based on something, you know? Some of these I recognize, some of these I didn't, but I'll just go down the list real quick. The first episode was based on Dungeons and Dragons, and that was one of the best episodes in the whole thing. They handled it really well. They based it specifically around, this is more of a tabletop game than a video game. There are video games based on D&D, like Baldur's Gate 3, but you know, this is more about the lore of the series. But it was a story based around Tiamat and the Cult of the Dragon.
Okay.
And it was really well done. Like, the animation was great. It looked pretty realistic. You had different character classes represented from D&D lore, like your barbarian and your elf and your mage and all that. So it was really, probably one of the best episodes on the whole thing. Episode 2 was based on Sifu, which is a fighting game that came out last year. It's also a roguelike, and the gimmick in that game is that every time you die, you age by several years. And so the reason it's a roguelike is because if you get too old, then you die permanently and have to start over. So... Yeah. But the thing is, you start off pretty young and weak, and then as you age, you get stronger, so dying has benefits too. However, once you start getting too old, it has the opposite effect. You get weaker. So there's like a balance there. And this episode takes place during the second level of the game, and it actually showcases that game mechanic in the actual episode itself. And that happens a lot in this. Like, there's an overarching theme of death and respawning in this entire show. And it kind of reminds me of, you remember Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix?
Yes.
Which was basically an animated version of Black Mirror, very similar, existential themes.
Anthology series type stuff.
Yes, and this is like that too. Except that this whole show feels a lot like Love, Death, and Robots, because not only does it deal with death quite a lot in the themes of these video games and terms of, because video games have a lot of death, it's kind of a mechanic. So there's a lot of that, but there's also like a lot of this almost haunting horror vibe to a lot of these episodes,
Oh,
and um, you know, and there's some like I'll you'll understand when I talk about the Exodus episode what I'm kind of really getting at here. There's some crazy, like really crazy, like uh existential crisis type stuff in here too. Um, and so thematically overall it's actually a very dark show. uh
really?
even when the games that certain episodes are based on aren't that. Like there's a couple of episodes that are more lighthearted, but some of them are just downright horrifying. Even if they're not horror, it's just like the implications or the darkness behind what's happening on screen.
Mm-hmm.
um but yeah, so the episode for Sifu is really, really well done. One of my favorites. Like the game itself, not my kind of game, but that's the case for a lot of the games in this show. But the episodes themselves are really well done, and this is one
Okay.
of them. And yeah, just the way that every time like he's fighting these gangsters or these like yakuza people or whatever, and they think they kill him, and then the amulet goes off and he comes back to life and he's older, and they're like, what the fuck, and then he just starts beating the shit out of them. It's really cool. um so I love how they implement the game mechanic into it. uh
Mm-hmm.
Episode 3 is based on New World, which is a MMORPG by Amazon. This episode really just kind of feels self-flating because no one actually cares about that, and they're trying to push it on people. But it's actually a prequel to the game's most recent update that takes you to an island where no one can die. Um,
Oh,
so again, dealing with the respawn and death mechanic in video games and writing it into the lore of these episodes.
right.
It's actually part of the lore of that game. When you go to that island that you can't die, it explains how you keep respawning. So
Okay.
episode 4 is based on Unreal Tournament, which I think was an old PS2 game. It was like a PvP, like 5v5 thing where like it was humans versus robots. And the whole idea behind the tournaments was that the humans were trying to stop a robot uprising. This episode serves as a prequel to that game and shows why the robots are uprising in the first place, and central focuses on Zan, Xan, the leader of the robot uprising.
Okay.
Um, Another one that's designed really well. Episode 5 is based on Warhammer 40k, and specifically, it is a sequel to the Space Marine 2 game that came out this year, or last year.
Okay.
Um, so I can't explain that one very well because I'm not familiar with the Warhammer lore, and I have fucking fuck all idea what was happening in that episode. But it was really cool to look at. Yeah,
Fair enough.
it was pretty well done. These are all cool to look at. Episode 6, Pac-Man. This is actually based on the upcoming Shadow Labyrinth game, because
Nice.
this is not this is not your traditional Pac-Man. This is like Pac-Man aesthetics turned into like a fucking creepy post-apocalyptic horror setting where this flying gold Pac-Man looking orb thing spawns these sword fighters to run through this maze of horrifying creatures and die over and over and over again trying to get out of the maze.
Jesus
And
Christ.
every time this puck thing loses one of them, it just respawns another one to go through the maze again, and they're called the sword fighter. And it looks I'm pretty sure it's based on Shadow Labyrinth, and yes, it is a very weird, very haunting episode.
Okay.
um with a lot of subtle Pac-Man references, but it's very like if there was one episode in the entire show I would call horror, it would be this one, the Pac-Man
Okay.
episode. So um then episode 7 is based on Crossfire, which is a PvP shooter. It's hugely popular in China and South Korea, and it's basically about two mercenary teams going at each other's throats. And one of them, they're trying to escort this guy that has an important item in a briefcase attached to him. And I gotta be honest, this is the one. This was the worst one for me out of all of them. It just felt like every other like action thriller soldier thing, you know.
Mm.
It wasn't really, or espionage thing, like the guy's got the briefcase handcuffed to his arm and shit, and they're like, and the mercenary team keeps trying to convince themselves that they're not the bad guys and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like it's been there, done that. I've seen it, but oh, episode 8 though. This show has a lot of celebrity cameos in it, by the way, and this is one of the best examples because episode 8 has Keanu Reeves in it.
Nice.
As an augmented pilot who works. This one's based on Armored Core, which is a From Software game. The people behind Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did this 6 games in an Armored Core series. As well. And yeah, this was basically about a guy with augmentations controlling this mech. And it's really cool because it's basically giant robot fights for a while. But this episode has a really dark ending. That's kind of another running theme throughout the whole show, is that almost all these episodes either end on a cliffhanger that implies what's coming next, because it's like an origin story or something, or they end on a really dark note, like a really dark, like that's kind of fucked up kind of note.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones that ends really fucked up. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Episode 9 is based on The Outer Worlds. I was very happy with this because that was one of my favorite games. The sci-fi RPG that's very comedic. And just like the game itself, this one, they nailed it. They nailed the comedy. They nailed the animation style. They nailed the anti-capitalism messages from the game. And this one sees an orphan who is working hard to make money to visit his childhood friend Fiona, who is up to be the new Auntie Cleo, who's the leader of that's a corporation in the game that you can buy healing items from. And he basically wants to work for the company as a test subject for the new stuff that they're making in order to see her again. But once he gets in there and they start doing the experiments on him, it's like, it's unethical. He's like losing limbs and shit and having them replaced with robot parts because the creams and stuff that he's rubbing on his arms are like eating the skin away and shit like that.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Yeah, and it's commentary. It's social commentary for sure, just like the game itself that this is based on. And by things just aren't what he thought they were once he finally gets to see his old friend Fiona and all that. And I think it was Fiona or Felicity. I think it began with an F, something like that. Mm-hmm. But once he gets to see her, it's like everything's not what he thought it would be. It's another episode with a really kind of like dark ending.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but The Outer Worlds is dark comedy, so that makes sense.
Fair enough.
And there's a lot of hilarious parts in this episode. Like, this is a genuinely funny episode. There was actually a part where I legitimately laughed out loud. So I don't want to spoil it. Episode 10 is Mega Man, which is really good. This is just a Mega Man origin story. It shows how Dr. Light's robot that he built, Rock, who was supposed to be his lab assistant, how he becomes Mega Man and starts going after Dr. Wily. It's the shortest episode in the whole thing, only coming in at 9 minutes. That's, by the way, all of these are really short, too. They're either like 20 minutes or less.
Okay.
For every episode.
Nice.
So... and this is probably one of the coolest episodes. It just sucks that it's so short. It's another one of those ends on a cliffhanger, but you know what's going to happen next things, because what happens next is the first Mega Man game.
Yeah.
So that one's an origin story. Exodus. This one was, oh my fuck. This episode sold me on the upcoming game. There's a game called Exodus coming out. It's a big sci-fi RPG being made by former Mass Effect developers. And the story of this episode is that this guy's daughter kind of runs away on a spaceship with this treasure hunter that she falls in love with, and he goes after her because he's like, she's my only daughter, I gotta save her. And because of time dilation, like some interstellar wormhole type shit, when he finally catches up to her, it's only been a year for him because he was traveling at light speed, but it's been 8 years for her that she's been down on this planet hunting for artifacts and stuff. And every time he gets to where he thinks she is, it turns out that she's already left and moved on somewhere else. So every time he catches up to her, it's only been like another year or so for him, but it's been several years for her. So by the time he finally catches up to her, she's older than him.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
Lightyear.
Oh, okay.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a lot. Sounds a lot like Lightyear.
Well, that's also kind of what Interstellar was too. The Christopher Nolan movie with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
It was also that kind of happened in that too. So I was like, holy shit, this episode is fucked up with that. Like, that's insane. Those implications. I'm like, this. I'm buying this game. Like, whenever it comes out, there's no release date for it yet. No one knows anything about when it's coming. But this episode sold me on this game.
Nice.
Like, it's such a good story. So good. I love how they handled that. So, and then episode 12 is based on Spelunky, which is another roguelike game. It was a 2D platformer roguelike game where you're like spelunking through caves and you have to like try to get to the end. Every time you start a new run, the levels are procedurally generated, so everything's different. All the traps and enemies everywhere they are is all changed around, and you know, it's kind of a you only get so many lives to go through it. And that's brought into the lore of this episode. There's these two girls from Spelunky 2, and one of them keeps trying to go through, and every time she goes through, she keeps dying. And there's like a montage of her different deaths throughout it, and it's fucking crazy because she looks like Dora the Explorer. And there's a montage of her different deaths throughout this, and all the deaths are ripped straight from Spelunky 2. Like, every last one of them, like, people who played the game will recognize each one of them and give a sigh of frustration. Like, yep, I died to that. Yep, I died to that too. Yep, I remember that. Oh, I remember that one all too well. You know? So, like, there's a lot of great nods in all these episodes. They do a great job with the animation, with the Easter eggs, with putting the lore of the game into these episodes.
That's awesome.
So, that one is also one of my favorites. And then, boy, they did a Concord episode, and to be fair, this was done before the game came out. Like, they were making the show before the game came out, so they didn't know it was going to fail at the time. This episode is a prequel to the game, or would have been if the game didn't get shut down. But since they made it, they had to release it. They were like, well, we can't just cancel one of the episodes, still got to put it out.
Yeah.
So, it was fun, though. It was like watching a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of short. It was basically a fun little space heist thing, and it definitely felt very Disney. I'll put it that way. I think you would enjoy it,
Okay.
to be honest.
I fully intend on watching this series.
Episode 14 is based on of all things, a MOBA mobile game that is only in China called Honor of Kings. And what this episode is, because MOBAs don't really have in video game lore, all of their character lore is done inside stuff, like how Arcane is League of Legends lore,
Yeah.
for example. So this episode introduced a new character called Yizing, a new character called Yizing, the day that he was added to the game. So this episode serves as that character's lore for his introduction into the game.
Okay.
Is what that was. And it's actually really cool. It's really cool, fun watch. He's basically this guy going after this evil emperor to get revenge for his dead family. And then episode 15, this episode is not based on one specific game, but rather a collection of PlayStation Easter eggs. It's called Playtime, and this episode sees this delivery girl named O having to deliver a special package to an address given to her by a mysterious courier. And she lives in some kind of future where everyone has these little robot companions and these like augmented reality glasses that let them basically play virtual video games in real life. Like, as she's riding her bike, for example, as she's riding her bike delivering packages in the beginning, if she has the glasses on, she can like see the path of where to go. It's kind of like Free Guy in that way,
Yeah.
where you can see where all the items are and stuff. And if she takes the glasses off, then all that shit disappears, you know?
Yeah.
So, and like, the bot's like, congratulations, you got enough points for a bike upgrade. And it's just like a new skin for her bike. And it's a virtual skin, so she can only see it on her bike if she's wearing the glasses. It's not even in real life. And I was like, oh, this show is definitely like Love, Death, and Robots, or, a smidgen of Black Mirror, because this is some commentary on the future type shit. But when she gets the mysterious package from the mysterious guy to deliver it, this is where the video game stuff comes in. As she's going to deliver the package, different characters from different PlayStation games keep getting in her way and trying to stop her, including Helldivers from Helldivers 2, Colossus from Shadow of the Colossus, and Kratos from God of War.
Nice.
Sackboy has an appearance in here too.
Nice.
And the cloth thing from Journey as well.
Nice.
There's a fun little twist at the end that I won't spoil. This is definitely one of the better episodes. It's just, PlayStation Easter eggs littered throughout. The package she get even has, like, the face button symbols on it and stuff. And there's definitely, like, meta commentary about creativity and imagination and stuff. A lot of that stuff that PlayStation stands for. So, yeah, a lot of love putting into that one. That episode could have been better if they had more Easter eggs in it. Feels like they kind of went light on it. I was expecting a little more heavy-handedness, but it still worked, I would have preferred, like, an episode fully focused around God of War instead of this 3-second cameo Kratos got in this episode, but it was still cool to see him nonetheless. So
yeah.
I hope that the show gets a second season and that they get updates, or that some of these stories get continuations. But most of their continuations are in the games they're based on, so probably not. It's an anthology series, so I think it's going to stand alone. But I would give the whole show an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Altogether. Is, yeah, where I'm going with that. All right, why don't you bring us into the topic then with your your second thing,
so
our final item.
I recently watched the Netflix special Torching 2024, the Roast of the Year, hosted by none other than the Roastmaster General himself, Jeff motherfucking Ross. Dude, he's still doing this after they stopped doing
It's literally the only thing he does.
Yes, I know.
What do you mean still doing this? The man doesn't even exist until there's a roast, and then he materializes out of thin air. That's how it works.
It's fucking hilarious.
Jeff Ross is like Santa Claus, except for roasts. He just comes when he's needed.
Yeah, so he had some guests, and they basically, I wanted to read some of the jokes that were said on the show because I thought they were fucking hilarious. This one is in reference to that Luigi Mangione dude that killed that unalived the former CEO of United Healthcare.
Mamma mia!
Who knew, besides Travis Kelce, that you could become extremely popular just by shooting loads into a billionaire?
Wah, wah. Yikes.
Luigi's a good-looking guy.
Funny.
No homo. I mean, no HMO. Luigi was sentenced to prison for a long time, but he won't be in there long. He'll escape through the pipes.
Ooh.
Fucking Mario Brothers reference there. Haktua
Yes.
girl, if you're listening, the nation owes you some gratitude. You made blowjobs so popular, even the Yankees blew the World Series.
Damn.
That shit was fucking, like, shots fucking fired. I don't even like baseball.
Shots fired just like Luigi.
Hey. Dude. So,
He just got tired of playing second fiddle to Mario, you know? He's
I
like,
guess.
He's like, wow, I've had it with only being a player too.
Dude, they had someone dressed. They had someone impersonating P. Diddy as the DJ. And one of the jokes that Jeff Ross was like, "Hey Diddy, since you're here, who's getting strangled in your cell while the cameras malfunction?"
What are you doing? Get off the stage right now!
Terrible!
Shocking! Get off!
And then, oh my god, dude. Eh, there was a I forget her name, but she came on and made a joke because Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly broke up this year, and it was due to the fact that she found disturbing material on his phone. The joke was, I'm guessing it was his new album.
Damn.
Oh, one of the closing jokes when they were Jeff Ross was doing a rapid fire. He said to Justin Timberlake, "Drive home safely."
Ouch.
Right, like nothing was off limits. They had a comedian come out dressed up as the former CEO of United Healthcare to do a bit. Dude.
Man, Jeff Ross gives no fucks.
No fucks. All fucks out the window.
The Diddy joke was the funniest part, strangled in the set. I'm pretty sure that was a Epstein reference too. All right, well, let's not give away the whole set.
No, it was
a reason to watch it.
it's dude. It was fucking funny, but no, that doesn't even that barely scratches the surface of the jokes. Like, it was fucking good. Like,
where do you find this? Because I feel like I'm gonna.
It's a Netflix original.
Ah, son of a whore. Don't have Netflix. I gotta figure something else out. God damn it. Okay, well.
Fair enough.
What is this called?
It is called Torching 2024: The Roast of a Year. The Roast of the Year.
What would you rate it?
Oh, it was only a 40-minute special. So they could have gone a little longer. 9.5.
I'm glad you loved it because IMDb is being harsh.
Oh,
5.5 out of 10.
Jesus.
And Rotten Tomatoes doesn't even have a score. To be fair, though, I wonder if that is... I mean, that's got to be a pretty heavily weighed review score because I highly doubt that many... Yeah, 5.5 out of 10 is out of 556 reviews, which is not a lot. So...
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I should probably also add Secret Level, a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb, so I wasn't too far off with my 8, I guess.
Okay.
Also a 7.5 out of 10 on Prime Video, and Rotten Tomatoes a little bit less at 65%. That's a 6.5 out of 10. Still, though, that's two 7.5s. That's almost an 8. That's what I gave it. So, I remember I said I wanted to start doing that, listing off the things compared to ours. So, and
Diddy was impersonated by a guy named Jamarius Wicker.
That's funny. All right, then. Well, with your Roast of 2024 review, I say that's a perfect segue into the topic, which is going to be all about 2024.
Yes. Let's go.
And with that, the 2024 season comes to an end. Good night.
All right, everybody, here we are at the topic of this episode, and a Happy New Year, by the way, because we're in 2025, and as is tradition on this show, well, I say tradition, but we've done it twice, we are going to start this new season of the podcast by looking back on the previous year, and don't worry, this isn't some kind of clip show thing where we look back on our funniest moments from the show. You only do that when you run out of ideas. We're... no, this is us looking back on the media of the year 2024. The best, the worst, the blandest, and so on. And while we're at it, we're going to name our personal, movie, game, TV show, and all that of the year. We've done it before. We're doing it again. This is where we are. And then also, to round it up, we'll talk about what's coming out in 2025 that we're looking forward to as well.
Yes.
So, let's start with movies. That makes the most sense to me.
Yes.
It was a pretty good year for movies. Pretty decent year.
Yeah, it was. We had a few. We had a Legacy sequel come out in August.
What was that?
Beetlejuice.
Oh, right. Yes. Yep. Yeah, we did. Was The Exorcist Legacy sequel this year too? Last year, I mean? Was that?
Maybe.
I think it might have been. Saw X was last year. Right?
Was it?
Was it? Yeah, it was last year. Pretty sure that we did the Saw Traps tier list episode in our to build up to it in season 2 of the show.
Okay, yeah. And then we did a
bonus episode about that movie. Speaking of which, I'm gonna have to change.
Oh, that came out in 2023.
Was that really season 1?
Yeah.
You bullshitting me, Johnny. No, you're right. That was season 1. God damn it. Yeah, you're right. 2023. Fuck. Okay.
I was, if I remember correctly, I was still living at, my buddy Will's when we recorded that spoiler cast.
Fair enough. It looks like the only movie bonus episodes we did were Late Night with the Devil and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
For last year.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Let's see. We had Deadpool and Wolverine. Late Night with the Devil was really fucking good.
Yeah, that one is definitely up there for me. Like, if I was doing a top 5 list, that one would be, like if I did a top 10 movie list, that one would be in it for 2024.
Right.
Other horror movies. We got the third movie in the X trilogy, Maxine.
Yes.
With Mia Goth.
Mm-hmm.
She does so good in those.
I got the 2024 list of movies pulled up on IMDb. One that I haven't seen yet, but intend to soon. I'm probably going to do like a marathon of the trilogy. But Terrifier 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Trap, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. With the serial killer dude trying to get away.
Inside Out 2.
Yup. Can't forget that. Really good. That one was.
Despicable Me 4.
Oh yeah, that was last year. If that's right, we went to the theaters for that one.
Yes, we did.
Immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the ones I've reviewed on here. Imaginary, uh, Watchers, which I ended up not reviewing, but I did see. It was really weird. Another
the
Shyamalan
atrocity
movie.
that was Madam Web.
Oh, yep. Yeah, because I did say we would talk about the bad too. So there was also Joker 2,
I have not seen that yet. I want to.
Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, back on the note of good though, Smile 2. As far as
Yeah.
good horror movies. You talked about Dear Santa in the last episode, and that was last year, I believe.
It sure was, yes.
The Nicolas Cage movie Long Legs, which I haven't seen yet, but
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
yes. The body horror movie The Substance. Is really fucked up movie.
Remake / musical of Mean Girls.
Yes. Obviously your latest obsession, the Wicked movie,
Yes, Wicked.
is a big last year thing.
Yes.
Late last year, but still last year nonetheless. They also did the
Yes.
remake of Salem's Lot
Mm-hmm.
in 2024.
Tarot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Oh, yep, you're right. You're right. I did enjoy that more than I thought I would.
The Garfield movie. The animated Garfield movie with Chris Pratt as Garfield.
Gladiator 2. Let's see. Yeah, maybe there weren't as many movies as I thought.
I know my most anticipated movie for last year was Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, Night Swim came out last year. You talked about that.
I sure did. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
Correct. Yep. The
Ricky
beekeeper.
Stenicki.
Yep.
I talked
yep.
about that on here.
The Beekeeper, that Jason Statham movie.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but there was a movie called Argyle, which takes place in the Kingsman universe.
Yes, that is, I believe, on Apple TV Plus right now.
Featuring a cat.
Yes. For movies, for me, it is going to be a two, and I know I have to pick one.
Oh, that new Megamind movie.
Oh, that was garbage. That was garbage.
I know. I haven't seen Dune Part 2 yet. I need to. Okay, so what was your top movie of 2024?
Oh man, dude, it's a two-way tie between Deadpool and Wolverine and Wicked. I can't decide.
Let's
It's
see.
too fucking hard.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
That was a good one. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Mufasa. Red
Right.
One.
Godzilla X Kong the New Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot
Kraven the
about
Hunter.
Wait, is that out?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it is.
It's been at Cinemark for a little while now. Moana
Civil-
2.
Civil War, the A24 movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Venom, The Last Dance.
Abigail, the vampire girl. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, that's right.
The last movie with Angus Cloud in it.
Yeah. There's a movie called The Wild Robot.
Yes, I've heard a few things about that. I heard it's really good. I haven't seen it yet, but it's like very heartwarming family movie.
I definitely plan on watching it.
The Fall Guy, the Ryan Gosling movie, that was really good. I loved how it was basically like meta commentary on the making of movies. It was funny too.
Yeah.
I think you saw that.
Yes, Sarah and I, we did watch it.
Came out around the same time as Tarot, actually.
Sure did.
Yeah.
There's this movie called Y2K that came out. Was it
Another A24 movie.
December 26th? December 6th. It came out on December 6th. It's a horror film.
Yep. I thought there was an animated Garfield movie,
Yep.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, which is, I think, a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road, or a sequel, one
A
of the two.
Netflix film called Hot Frosty.
Oh, God, yeah.
Those who
everyone
listen to
hates.
your stupid opinions. Oh
Yeah,
my
everyone-
god.
Everyone seems to be really hating that movie, and for good reason. But, turns out you were right about Carry On. That wasn't just your subjective taste. Everyone is saying that movie is amazing.
Dude, it was so fucking good.
There's actually, I haven't watched it myself, the movie, because but there's a pitch meeting video for that movie that I'm gonna send you. I haven't seen it myself, but because I want to see the movie. But yeah.
Okay. Bet.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Oh, there was Bad Boys 4. I forgot about that.
I have a feeling they're gonna now that they're reunited. I have a feeling that they're gonna beat this series with a dead horse.
Oh yeah. Oh, a prequel to the horror series A Quiet Place called A Quiet Place Day 1
Okay.
came out last year as well. Yeah, I saw a lot of movies this year that I really enjoyed, but nothing that really blew me away as much as I thought. Well, actually, you know what? It may come across a little bit pretentious, but I think I have to give movie of the year to Late Night with the Devil. Honestly.
There you go.
It's just
For me,
so different, creative, innovative. It's immersive. You know, it just nails everything that it goes for. It's so well done, so well filmed, so well acted and executed. You know, and there's a lot to be. You benefit from rewatches of that movie. Honestly, there's a lot of extra context you didn't realize before when you rewatch it.
for me, I'm gonna give it to Wicked, and I'm going to predict that it wins Film of the Year at the Oscars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, is it even up for that? Do
I
we
think
even know
so.
what
I think so.
the Oscar nominees are yet?
I don't know. I would assume if it get, I'm sure it'll get nominated.
Maybe. I don't see why it wouldn't, though. All things considered,
it holds the title of #1 film in the world. It broke box office records.
So there was a horror movie that came out last year called Cuckoo or Cuckoo, Cuckoo, and it's not. I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my list because I've heard really good things about it. And also, I forgot that a new Alien movie came out, Alien Romulus, which I've also heard really, really good things about.
Alien Romulus. I saw trailers for that in theaters.
Ryan and Carissa actually have like the green test tube popcorn bucket.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
I
really
was
cool.
say when Willow and I went to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I ended up picking up the Sonic the Hedgehog popcorn bucket. Is a
Oh, nice.
Sonic statue holding a popcorn bucket. It was $25 and it came with a free extra large popcorn.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk TV shows.
TV shows?
There was, so this is either brand new shows or new seasons of shows in 2024.
So we got Has Been Hotel.
Yeah, that's right out the gate. That's definitely a strong contender for sure.
Yes.
We did a whole ass bonus episode about that motherfucker.
Skeleton Crew.
Oh, wait, have you started watching that?
No,
Or-
it's on this list that I have pulled up.
Fair enough. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to think of the things I've actually seen first, and then go from there. But The Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, like that one is strong for me. Secret Level, I just talked about.
Fallout.
Yes. Fallout. Oh God, Fallout was last year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, for you it was movies that are hard, but for me it's gonna be like right now I'm already like, oh shit, Fallout, Penguin, and Has Been Hotel. That's a hard choice already.
There was a new season of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There was a new season of Based on a True Story. That's
New
another
season of
really
Family
good.
Guy wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, based on a true story too. That's right. Yeah, a new season of Family Guy wrapped up earlier in the year. There was a new South Park Paramount Plus special, The End of Obesity.
I finally watched that, by the way.
Oh, what'd you think?
I thought it was fucking funny.
I love the car chase at the end. It's so well animated. It's exciting. It felt like a
bizarre.
classic South Park episode for sure.
Yeah,
They
for
even
sure.
they even killed Kenny.
Yes, they did.
I love how all the serial mascots are like mafia leaders. It's so like
Yes.
like mob bosses and shit. It's so like they're running a drug ring, but it's sugar. It's great.
Dream Productions.
Yes, it's based on Inside Out. I haven't watched it yet, but
I've watched a couple episodes. It's interesting.
speaking of which, we only got like Deadpool and Wolverine was supposedly the only MCU thing last year. However, we did get a new season of What If on Disney Plus, which I haven't seen yet because I haven't finished season 2 yet. But
and we got
oh,
Agatha All Along.
you're right, Agatha All Along, which was also a really fucking solid show. Honestly, like a huge. Ryan says it might actually be his favorite TV show in the MCU. Like
They did
putting it above WandaVision.
Oh, nice. There was a show on Max that they did as a limited run called Harry Potter Wizards of Baking.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a Cake Boss version, but everything Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
It was so fucking cool, and it was hosted by the twins, the guys that play Fred and George Weasley.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
I think season 2 of Yellow Jackets might have been 2024.
Ted.
That's right, the Ted TV show. Oh my god. You had to
Yes.
remind me.
I fucking love it.
I guess, since I have to suffer, now everyone suffers, and I'm going to remind people of the existence of Velma, because that was season 2 last year. Which
I didn't even watch season 2. I don't know why.
apparently, yeah, because you were the only staunch defender of the first season, so.
Yeah.
Stick by your guns.
Yeah. Right?
But I think the show's been canceled now. Season 2 didn't do well.
Yeah, no. Season 2 did not do well.
I think they went with the Scrappy Doo is the villain storyline too. In
X-Men
that.
97?
Yes, yeah, a real good show on the on Disney Plus, a continuation of the original '97 show. Which
Nice.
I wasn't gonna go back and watch all 7 seasons of that, so I just watched a recap video on YouTube that told me all the important parts. I'm like, all right, that's all I needed, good to go. And then the show explains, it tells you everything you need to know anyways, like the characters exposed. It's like that Kingdom Hearts 3 thing where they're like, remember the time that thing happened in the other game? For the people that didn't play them. They do that in the show. Basically what I'm saying is you don't have to have watched the original series to enjoy the new one.
Right.
Stands on its own.
Mm-hmm.
You were gonna say something?
Yeah, I just looked it up and and it doesn't qualify for this episode because it was for 2023. I was gonna say Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and then I had to look back and I'm like, wait, that was 2023.
It was the 2023, I think.
Yes, it was. I looked it up.
I think, I got a new season of Solar Opposites this year with Dan Stevens replacing Justin Roiland.
And there was that was
good.
Season. They did season 6, part 1 and 2 of Cobra Kai. See, part 3 to still to come.
Wait, parts 1 and 2 were both in the same year?
Yes.
So just okay. You just had to
Released
wait several months.
Released months apart.
Got it. Yep. Got it. Okay. They did the Stranger Things thing.
Yes.
Well, Secret Level released the first 8 episodes in one day, and then the remaining 7 episodes they released one at a time.
Okay.
The following weeks is how they did that.
Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Nothing coming off the top of my head or things that I really heard of from other people. No. Yeah, no. Was Agatha and What If the only MCU shows? I think they might have been. I don't think there was anything earlier in the year. Loki season 2 was 2023.
Yeah. I'm looking through this list. Anything noteworthy?
Well, I gotta plant my flag. What? Oh, go ahead.
The season 2 of Monsters, the Menendez brothers case.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And the whole thing with Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Right. Fair enough. I think I mentioned in our last episode that The Simpsons had a couple great episodes this year, or last year.
Yes.
So, that was worth pointing out.
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday Night Live, they're in their 50th season now, and they've had a pretty good year so far. There's a couple episodes that are kind of duds, but most of the episodes in so far this season have been bangers.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that.
I feel like, we have to talk a little bit about the Martin Short Christmas episode, because holy shit. That was so good.
Bowen Yang as that fucking drone on the Weekend Update was fantastic. When he started belting out Defying Gravity, I lost my shit.
Scarlett Johansson's reactions to the jokes that Shay made Colin read were great.
Dude, The fact that they write each other's jokes is fucking genius.
Yeah, they do it for that segment every year.
It's so fucking funny.
And every year, the things that Michael Che makes Colin say are more and more racist.
See, I thought it was funny that Scarlett Johansson was actually there. It made Colin's jokes that much more funny.
Yes, and I also love how in the Five Timers Club opening sketch, when she comes walking through the door, Colin's behind her and she slams the door on him because he doesn't belong there.
Yes.
Oh my god, the amount of celebrities they got for this was insane. And then to get them back for continuing skits throughout the episode, like Melissa McCarthy and Paul Rudd showing up later, and then Dana Carvey in that one skit too.
I lost my shit when one of the propellers on Bowen's drone costume broke.
Yes.
Dude, I lost my shit.
Because he was being so dramatic as he was.
It was so fucking funny.
Yeah, that was great. Also, like, okay, either Martin Short is really small or Jane Wickline is ridiculously tall. Because in that airport sketch, when she was standing next to him as one of the patrons, I was like, oh my god, she's like Frankenstein height.
Martin Short is pretty short.
Yeah, but
if you look at him standing next to Steve Martin's a pretty tall dude.
True, but I also think Jane Wickline might just be really tall. Like, she might just be a lanky girl because Paul Rudd didn't look that goddamn tall standing next to him. So...
True.
You know, but she, like, towered over him.
Yeah.
So... But I also thought maybe they might have had her, like, in high heels or something, too, for the skit.
That's a possibility, yeah.
Was probably doing it. But that airport parade was some funny, weird shit.
Yeah, it was.
I love Kristen Wiig on the runaway motor suitcase.
Yes.
Like, I love how all the celebrities from the opening sketch just keep popping up throughout the episode for different things, like Melissa McCarthy playing a Karen in that car sketch.
Uh-huh.
And they even gave her the haircut and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect. And when she spits that drink on the window and rubs her chest on it, Chloe is laughing so hard. Like, she completely breaks character there.
Yes.
I was like, God, you know, if I was a cast member on that show, I would be so intimidated in that episode about, like, all of these, like, seasoned professionals there. And I'd like, oh, fuck, I better be on my A game tonight. Like, that would be, oh, man. I don't think I could do it anyways.
That'd be an accomplishment, though.
Yeah, but I'm too self-conscious for a live audience.
Fair enough.
That being said, by the way, so there was another skit that got cut for time. It was going to have John Mulaney playing Superman.
Oh, that would have been badass.
And he was, so basically, Lois Lane is interviewing him, and her annoying roommate keeps coming out, played by Chloe, and kind of hitting on him, and she's doing, like, this, like, Bronx accent. She's like, hey, nice to meet you. You must be the famous Superman. Instead of Superman, she's saying Superman, you know. And he's like, no, it's Superman. You're saying Superman like it's a last name. Like, my name is Tom Superman. And she's like, oh, well, nice to meet you, Tom. I'm Diane, you know. It's just fucking great. She's like, by the way, you look like Clark Kent. Anyways, you can find this skit on YouTube. It was cut for time, but there's still a live audience laughing because, didn't know if you knew this or not, but the dress rehearsals they do throughout the week are also done in front of a live audience.
Nice.
But this has been a good year for them so far, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the season holds coming in 2025. But yeah, that Martin Short episode was top tier.
Yeah, it was.
All right, time to plant our flag on a TV show.
Aspen Hotel. Easy.
Well, that was
like cake.
That was easy for you. Ah, damn it. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Penguin.
Yeah.
It might truly, yeah. Looking back on it, I love so many things I watched the 2024 TV show wise, but that one just takes the cake as like the most well acted, well produced, well filmed, like exciting, edge of my seat, like I'm invested in the story thing that I've watched all year.
Yeah.
So like it is just so good. I think I have to give it to it. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, honestly. I'm glad I finally got around to watching it because I put it off for way too long, and then when I finally did, I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. I should mention that season 7 of My Hero Academia came out last year too, but I haven't watched it yet.
Fair enough.
I have got to get caught up on that. So yeah, Penguin for me. All right, video games. It's no stranger to anyone who watches my YouTube channel. My top 10 list is out. I put them all out there. Those 10 games, along with the other 5 nominees that didn't make the list, were basically, in my opinion, the best games I played last year overall. And I think Star Wars Outlaws and Dragon Age Veilguard are unfairly hated on for ignorant, bigoted reasons. They do have problems. They are far from perfect games, but people are complaining about the wrong things.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna complain about something, complain about the parts that actually deserve to be complained about, not your outdated Neanderthal shit.
Right.
So, but it was not as good of a year as 2023 for video games, but still a decent year overall. I found a lot of fun little gems on Game Pass, games that I didn't really get to talk much about throughout the year, but gave them short mentions. But like, there's this one called Flintlock Siege of Dawn that is kind of a Souls-like, but it plays different. It's like an alternate World War II history, and it's called Flintlock because you have this big flintlock rifle as one of your weapons.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fast paced because you're like running up enemies and doing backflips off them and then shooting them in the face as you're flying through the air and shit like that. Like it's not as punishing as your typical Souls-like, and it doesn't even feel like a Souls-like, except in some ways. It's a very unique game. And then I did a Kitsumi Path of the Goddess, which was a fun tower defense game. There was a Souls-like, though, called Another Crab's Treasure. It's a cartoon game where you're playing as a crab trying to find a new home, but also fighting off giant fish monsters in the water, in the sea. It's very cartoony looking, kind of unassuming.
Right.
But I started recently playing this game called Nobody Wants to Die, which came out last year and I never really got around to it, but I finally started playing it because I'm recording a Let's Play of it.
Okay.
And it is a noir detective murder mystery story that takes place in the future. So it's like in the year like 2147 or something.
Oh, shit.
So you have like you have like flying cars and like cybernetic doohickeys and shit.
Interesting.
You know, and like you can use like Batman technology to rewind crime scenes to see how people were killed and stuff using scanning evidence left around. You can reconstruct the crime scene, stuff like that. But it's also got like this almost kind of like BioShock Infinite aesthetic to it at the same time, where everything kind of looks old-fashioned-y, like a noir detective thing, because you know the cars, they're all flying cars that are flying around, right? But they're all designed to look like old cars from the 1980s or the 1940s, you know, or like, you know, the inside of the car looks very old, but with some cyber upgrades. And, you know, you have a very typical detective guy who like wears the trench coat and he's got a gruff voice and he's an alcoholic and the dead wife and all that shit, you know, the usual tropes of the detective. So it's actually a very interesting aesthetic. I'm not very far in it, but I'm loving what I'm playing so far. There's definitely like I found a dead body and I reported it to my police captain and he's like, he's like trying to get me to be like, no, this was just supposed to be a simple like you grab his memories, like you have this technology to grab the stuff that's in his brain or whatever. You were just supposed to do that, but you unlock this whole conspiracy, and your police chief might be in on it, and there's like a whole thing going on. It's really interesting. Like it's very suspicious that he doesn't want you looking deeper into this, you
Right.
know. But also, like, you're one of those loose cannon detectives that's currently suspended, and this whole investigation is completely off the books in the first place. So it's also kind of risky
Right.
for everyone involved. Also, a weird thing that happens in this future is there's a subscription to. You might be wondering, why is there so much old stuff in the future? Well, it's because half the people that are living in this future are hundreds of years old. And it's because there's this subscription service everyone has to sign up for in this future, where once you get old enough, your consciousness gets transferred into a new, younger body that you have already paid for ahead of time, and you basically get to start over.
Interesting.
Maintaining all your memories and stuff. But I feel like there's something dark and deeper to it, because like, where are they getting these younger bodies that you're going into? It has like Get Out vibes in that aspect, you know. Because I don't know if you've seen Get Out, but like the whole body snatchers thing is kind of what I'm getting
Yeah.
at here. So there's like a weird aspect there, but yeah, I definitely, yeah, so it's basically detective noir in a cyberpunk future setting.
Okay.
With like a very mysterious like murder conspiracy going on that you're in the middle of. It's really
What was
cool.
the name of this game?
Nobody Wants to Die.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. I highly recommend it because it's also it's a story game. So like you make dialogue choices that change the story. There was like and other things too. There was a part where I found some files that were evidence, and I had a choice to keep them or burn them. And the choice I made, a little pop-up came up. It says this choice will affect the story, you know.
Nice.
And I know you love that kind of stuff. So
Yes, I do.
yeah, and as far as I can tell, so far anyway, there isn't any combat or anything in this game yet. I can't promise that there isn't altogether, but so far it's all like narrative stuff. It's like narrative and you walking around and interacting with stuff and investigating stuff and solving murders, basically. So, you might like it. I'm liking it so far.
Nobody Wants to Die. Huh. $14.99 right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sale.
I think I bought it right away when it came out. But yeah, my mom's played through it, the whole thing already, and she really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Another game that came out last year that I didn't get around to was Dragon's Dogma 2, which my mom also played through all of and really enjoyed. Yeah, but Still Wakes the Deep was a great horror game. Silent Hill 2 was a great horror game. They did a great job with the remake. Persona 3 Reload was a great remake. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth was okay.
I like the way they updated the mechanics and stuff for Until Dawn.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, they
So it's got more updated gameplay in this remake?
so you know how in the PS4 one you press L1 to run to go to move faster?
Yes.
In this, it's a simple L3, so that basically the analog stick.
Oh, yeah. I have to imagine they've also implemented, because it's a PS5 game, the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers of the DualSense controller.
Yes, so instead of using the analog sticks to make the choices, it's either L2 or R2 to make this to make the choices, and the adapt the haptic triggers is is what it that shows off that feature.
It like locks up a bit on the choice so that you have to really squeeze it to confirm your choice.
Yes.
Makes sense.
And
Gives
the
you a chance to
move,
back out of it.
The don't move mechanic is pretty much the same as the other.
Did they replace it with the heartbeat monitor
No.
from Dark Pictures, or did they
It's
replace
pretty-
it with
It's
the
same.
hold your breath from the Quarry?
They did it. It's the same. It's the same as it was in the first one.
But how do you without the light bar on the controller? How do you tell? You know what I mean? Because before there was like a indicator on the screen. Because the PS4 controller
There is
had
an
that
indicator
light
on
bar.
the screen.
There is,
Yes.
but like, how does it read where the controller is?
That's a good question. I don't know.
What does it show on the screen? Because there's no light bar anymore.
No, not
So
the light
it
bar.
can't-
It's basically yeah, it's essentially a made up light bar.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I guess it's using gyroscope technology to tell where it is.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. Okay. Yeah, some great underrated gems and stuff last year. Also, some
Lucky
big old.
Squire.
Yes, absolutely. Plucky Squire, also on my list. I mean,
Good game.
there was a lot of 7 out of 10 games that made my list. There was a lot of 7 out of 10 games last year in general, but it was like they were good 7 out of 10 games that got hated on for the wrong reasons, but it doesn't mean that they didn't have faults, because they sure as hell still had faults. It's
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Yeah, so that one is, I mean, that one's a 9 out of 10 for me, but I still haven't finished it yet. You're way ahead of me in that game, but goddamn is it so good.
Yeah, I haven't picked it up since I last put it down.
Oh man.
That's usually how that goes.
I mean, but this seems like one that you're enjoying enough that you'll see it through to the end.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I can see you actually finishing that one.
I'm enjoying it.
But yeah, there was a lot of mediocre games that I still enjoyed, but I'm not afraid to admit that I enjoyed them. That being said, though, there were some games that were some absolute stinkers last year. Suicide Squad.
And that's going to be one of the free games for January for PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, now you can see for yourself how amazing the beginning of the game is when you're being hunted by Batman, and then how shit everything after that is.
Yeah, I'll probably dig into it just a smidge.
Yeah,
See.
I mean, definitely
I'm
give some of
tempering my
the
expectations.
definitely give some of the open world gameplay a go after that, just to see for yourself. I mean, for context, I made it to the Flash boss battle and beat that before I finally gave up on the game. So
Fair enough.
But yeah, and then of course Concord didn't do very well. Dustborn I really wanted to like, but it's just very badly written. Like, even like, is as someone who is, obviously a huge advocate for representation in media and stuff, for people who are non-binary and transgender and LGBTQI plus community, I love seeing all that stuff represented in media.
Yeah.
However, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and Dustborn is kind of the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way. It's also like kind of really boring.
Yeah.
After a while. So yeah, it's just not written very well. And I will say, as much as I am enjoying Dragon Age Veilguard, obviously there are some parts of that, especially surrounding the non-binary character in the game, that do come off kind of cringe. And it's kind of like, as a non-binary person myself, I love the representation, and I love that character's whole side story deals with them struggling with their identity which is really cool. But some of the lines that happen and some of the things that happen are kind of like a little patronizing. um, and not well. But it's also, to be honest, the writing and dialogue in that Dragon Age game compared to others comes across like a Disney movie, which is one of the reasons I think you would actually like it, because they're quipping at each other like Marvel characters and shit throughout, you know?
Right.
And that definitely feels like your vibe. You know, but I also think you would also, as a fan of like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, appreciate the dark fantasy vibes of the older games too.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think you would like all of them, quite frankly. It's just really hard to find a way to play the first two anymore.
Right.
Because they were on older systems. So, oh, the Xbox, they're on Game Pass. That's right.
Okay.
As 360 games with FPS boosting and all that. So, they're part of EA Play.
Okay.
Yeah. And those are definitely your choices matter type of games, because all the choices you make in Dragon Age Origins carries over to Dragon Age 2.
Makes sense.
And stuff like that. Mass Effect, which is done by the same developers, is the same way. Characters who die in the first game will still be dead in the third game, especially if you play the Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And there's actually, like, Mass Effect 2 in particular, the end of the game has what's called the suicide mission, where you have to pick where to put your party members in the final battle, and if you put them in the wrong spot, they will die. So it's very Dark Pictures-like in that aspect, which I think
Okay.
is something you'd appreciate. And Dragon Age Veilguard has the same thing at the end in the final showdown. You have to place all your party members in the right spot, and you have to have done their companion quests to max out your relationship with them so that they are no longer distracted by their personal bullshit and ready for this fight, you know. And that plays a role in it too, just like Mass Effect 2. So that was kind of cool that they brought that mechanic back.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Really makes you, kind of like forces you to do all the side quests and make sure everyone is good to go.
Makes sense.
um,
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I think you would like Veilguard, actually. Like, if that was your first Dragon Age game, I think you would really be into it.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I'll
definitely
look
your
into it.
speed.
I'll look into it.
And the action is all flashy real-time combat too. So, and your dialogue options, you can like be a nice guy, be a sarcastic asshole, be an actual asshole. You know, there are options. You can flirt with literally every party member. Every last one of them are pansexual. So in this one, as well, and you can dedicate yourself to a relationship with any of them too. So there's that.
Nice.
Anyways, though, it's no secret anymore to anyone now, but my game of the year was Astrobot. It was almost Metaphor ReFantazio. That game came in very, very close second. Like, Astrobot won by a hair, but I had to give it to it at the end of the day. It was also the official Game of the Year winner at the Game Awards, and not since 2018 has it synced up like that for me when God of War won. What was your Game of the Year of 2024?
The Plucky Squire.
I had a feeling that might be coming.
Yeah. It was so good. I really enjoyed it.
I agree. You see, it made my top 5 on my
It
list
sure
at
did.
least. So it was up there for me too, for sure. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that game. I still need to finish it, but I really enjoyed it.
Such a good game.
So I don't have as much of a dog in this fight because I didn't listen to a lot of different music this year. All I will say is that the Astrobot soundtrack is fucking top tier. That music is great, but also the Has Been Hotel soundtrack. Gotta give a shout out to that.
Yes.
As I listened to that quite a bit. Starbomb's new album, the Lonely Island's new songs that they put out, 2 of them, and I wonder, did Gorilla's Silent Running song come out last year? It might have. I don't remember. Whenever the Cracker Island album came out. So,
The Jelly Roll did a lot of collaborations this past year. He did a song with Post Malone that I really like.
No, Cracker Island came out in 2023. Okay.
Jelly Roll did a song
So,
with Post Malone that came out last year called.
did you happen to find the song you were looking for in Sonic 3, by the way?
Yeah, it's the very first song when the end credits start to roll. It's called
Oh,
it's
okay.
called Run It by Jelly
Okay.
Roll.
That makes sense. Okay, then I do not know what the song was during the laser dance scene,
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
but it was fun.
Yeah, and Jelly Roll did a song with Post Malone called "Losers." It came out last year that I really like. Uh, Jelly Roll's new album was really good, minus the MGK tracks. Fuck MGK.
Yes.
Uh, let's see. Falling in Reverse, their album Popular Monster was pretty fucking solid. The
Linkin Park
Linkin Park.
came back.
So I listened to the full album. The only two songs that really stood out to me for Linkin Park were The Emptiness Machine and Heavy as the Crown.
Yeah, I keep hearing a lot about those ones. Some of the other people I follow on social media say that they really like the new singer.
I think she's really good. I think she's not getting credit where credit is due. She's getting a lot of unnecessary hate.
Yes.
And a lot of that is coming from extremists and people who are I understand that Chester's widow and the band had I think it was a verbal agreement that if they were to move on with another singer that they would let them that the band would let her know. It's been how many years since Chester unalived himself?
Yeah.
The band needs to move on. It's about time.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm not discrediting her feelings, but fuck her feelings. The band needs to move on.
Yeah, they can't just not have a lead singer forever.
No, they can't. No, they needed to. They have lives. They need to. They need to pay the bills.
Right. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed, ain't nothing in this world is free.
That. But yeah, no, the only two songs on that album that stood out were Emptiness Machine was fucking fire, dude. I love that song. And ooh, man. So for soundtracks, it is a major tie. But if I had to give it to one, I'd have to give it to the Has Been Hotel soundtrack for soundtracks. For original material, I'm gonna give it to Falling in Reverse. Jelly Roll. The only reason Jelly Roll loses out is because he had MGK on his album.
Right.
I love Jelly Roll. Don't get me wrong. I just come on now.
I'm hitting this at a slightly different angle, and I am doing an album of the year for me, which is also going to be the Has Been Hotel soundtrack. I think I gotta go
Okay.
on that one. But I'm also gonna pick a song of the year for me, a single of the year, if you will, a song that's not on an album yet, and that's gonna be Sushi Glory Hole by The Lonely Island.
Okay.
I gotta give that to that. I listened to that song on repeat so many times when it came out.
You should give. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it is catchy as hell.
Fair enough. You should give "Losers" by Post Malone a listen. It's
Okay.
it's a Jelly Roll's the featuring artist. It's really fucking good. I think you would like it.
I do like White Iverson, which is pretty much the only song I know by him, but
Fair enough.
it's a good one.
He also did "Take What You Want From Me," featuring Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, fair. Sounds like a fun one.
It's a good one.
Okay. Are there any books, podcasts, YouTube channels, anything that's not things that we covered? Not in the categories we covered, media
Small
wise.
Town Murder.
Well, I mean, that didn't start in 2024.
No, it didn't. But it
We've
had a
definitely
pretty
talked
solid,
about it.
Yeah, we definitely talked about it. Man,
But yeah, it had a good year.
it did. It had a really good year.
Oh, I got something significant that started. Like Dead Meat's obviously not a YouTube channel, but they did start doing a new thing. Video game kill counts, kind of picking up from. They did a couple of them during the strike when they couldn't do movies, like Mortal Kombat and Danganronpa. But now they're actually doing ones focused on legitimate horror games. Hosted by their friend Zoran, and the first one they did was the Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil game.
Okay.
And do you want to take a wild stab at what they're doing for the next video game kill count?
I
Outlast.
don't know. Fair enough.
Outlast.
So,
yes.
Small Town Murder hit a big milestone this year, or this past year. This past week, actually.
Yeah, over 1,000 episodes between both of their shows.
Yeah, between Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder. Yeah.
Which are kind of merged as the same thing because on their
Yeah.
Patreon. And Crime and Sports, I think, came first. And then
Yes,
Small
it did.
Town Murder. Yeah, Your Stupid Opinions doesn't really get looped in with that because it's not a true crime show like the
No.
other two. But 1,000 episodes of true crime. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't think I really discovered any like newer YouTube channels or anything. I mean, I talked in the last episode about those media literate cartoon analysts that I watch, but they've been doing this way before last year. That's not new.
Right.
A lot of those types of YouTube channels, though, it was a pretty interesting trend. A lot of those and a lot of podcasts too started during the pandemic when everyone was stuck at home. So people are like, well, I need shit to do. Might as well start a YouTube channel and talk about cartoons or might as well
Pretty
start a
much.
podcast. Yeah. So
So, what are we looking forward to this year?
so much. At least I'm hoping Death Stranding 2 comes out this year for video games. I would love that.
Hoping for Directive 8020
Yes, the
for
next Dark Pictures
the
game.
next Dark Pictures game. Yeah,
Um,
I'm I'm super fucking excited for Wicked for Good, which is the official title of Wicked Part 2.
Correct. Yep, that is coming out.
Yes.
I am looking forward to the in next month in February the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary special. It's going to be a 3-hour special,
Uh, yes.
similar to the 40th year one that they did a while back.
I'm looking
Uh,
forward to the third and final part of season 6 of Cobra Kai, and I am
oh yeah.
also really looking forward to. Wow, I'm drawing a blank. Wow, I am having a brain fart.
Lilo and Stitch, the live action remake.
Yes, the
I
live
think that
action
one
Lilo and
is.
Stitch is up there for me. Yes,
I think that one's very high on my most anticipated list. If I'm being honest,
season two
it's up
of.
there.
Say what?
It's up there. It's really up there.
Oh yeah, season 2 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians
Yes. Oh, also, I read an
should
article
be coming out.
recently. We got confirmation there is another Paramount special coming for South Park this year, followed by finally season 27 in the fall.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the to season 28. I want to say of no, that's not right. Season no, it might be season either 27 or 28 of Family Guy starting.
Nice. Okay. They're getting up
Uh,
there.
yeah, yeah, they're up there for sure. Because they hadn't started their new season in the fall like they usually do. I think they're waiting to do it this year. So
So, there's a game that won most anticipated game at the Game Awards that I am really looking forward to in fall of 2025. I cannot wait to get my hands on Grand Theft Auto 6. That is going to be my most anticipated game of the year, if not Directive 8020.
by the way, speaking of free to play games like Infinity Nikki, one of the ones that was up for best mobile game, Wuthering Waves, is now available on PS5
Nice.
as well to play, which I downloaded that to my phone and I started playing it. And then I was like, when I started playing it, I realized that the game, when you're playing it on the phone, has like a virtual joystick that you have to use to move. And I hate controller controls on touchscreen phone games.
Yeah, no, that's
Like
why
it yeah.
remote play.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna wait for the PS5 version of this to come out, and
Yeah.
lo and behold, it is available.
Nice.
So yeah, it's called Wuthering Waves, and it'll say version 2.0 when you look it up on the PlayStation Store. But it is a action RPG game, from what
Okay.
I can tell. So, um, and in like an anime style. So I'm looking to give it a go. It's not the same developer as Genshin Impact and all that. So
Huh.
different developer, I think. Um,
Interesting.
yes, yes, indeed it is. Um, where was I going with all this? Oh yeah, I have a list here of games that are supposed to be coming out in 2025. They're doing a remastered version of Freedom Wars that's supposed to come out on the 10th of this month, and that was a Monster Hunter style game on the PS Vita where you were trapped in a giant prison and literally fighting for your freedom. Um, I remember recommending it to Ryan and him really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Oh, the HD version of Donkey Kong Country, like the HD remake of Donkey Kong Country, the original Super Nintendo one, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD on the Nintendo Switch, comes out the 16th of this month.
Okay.
They're also remastering Tales of Grace's F, one of the Tales of games that was on the PS3 back in the day. Getting a remaster. That's coming out this month. We're already in there's some deep ones here. Eternal Strands. Yeah. So I know I'm hoping Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotai both come out this year. Oh, Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out next month. That one is a day one purchase for me. It's Assassin's Creed.
Really hoping that we get. I know it's probably not going to be this month, but I'm really hoping that we get season 2 of Has Been Hotel.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't bet on this year. I would bet maybe on 2026 for that. I think it's
Okay.
And hand-drawn animated stuff takes longer to make.
Makes sense,
Um,
yeah.
Some shows don't really push to come out yearly as much as they used to. Like Rick and Morty does an episode every 2 years instead of every year, or not episode, season. An episode every 2 years. You'd be dead by the time the first season was done.
Yeah.
But let's see. Avowed is coming out in February on Xbox Game Pass. It is the next RPG from Obsidian, so I'm looking forward to it because they did The Outer Worlds and Fallout New Vegas. But this one is a fantasy RPG. It's not
Okay.
like it's not sci-fi like the others. Lost Records, the game from the original Life is Strange developers, also comes out next month.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that you've shown interest in before too.
Sure have.
And I'm looking forward to that. Monster Hunter Wilds comes out February 28th.
Okay.
That was another one that you had been talking about a lot. Split Fiction.
That's coming
March
out this
6th.
year?
Yep, this year, March 6th.
Okay. That was just announced at the Game Awards.
Yep, and it's already coming. Also, it looks like Lost Records Bloom and Rage is going to be episodic because the first episode is in February, but the second episode is in March, from what I'm seeing here.
Okay.
So, Tales of the Shire, March 25th.
Yes, Tales of the Shire.
Yep, March 25th for that.
Yes, that'll be
So
that'll be a day one. If not, I'll make sure I get it the week it comes out.
And so far, those are really the only things, major notable things with actual release dates. Everything else coming out in 2025 is under the unscheduled releases section. So we don't have actual release dates for pretty much anything that was on the most anticipated of 2025 list for the Game Awards.
Right.
Absolutely none of those things have confirmed, like, solidified release dates for this year, but we're hoping. Yeah, well, Monster Hunter Wilds, that does. That one is for sure coming out this year because I just read its release date. But the other 5 in that category are just 2025, hopefully. Like, I would love to see that new Fable game this year. Personally, I don't know if I will, but I'd love to.
Right.
But yeah. Movie wise, we're getting 3 MCU movies in 2025. We're getting the new Captain America.
Yes.
Brave New World with the Red Hulk, Harrison Ford, and we're getting Thunderbolts, which the trailer looked really fun. It's basically Marvel's Suicide Squad, but I'm in for it because I love all the characters that are in it.
I'm excited for it.
Especially Yelena. And then the new Fantastic Four movie is also this year. With Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
Introducing the Fantastic Four into the MCU.
Yes,
Finally.
and taking place in an alternate 60s is when it takes place,
Okay.
by the way. And Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom.
Yeah, like an Iron Doctor Doom.
Yep, Iron Doom, the man in the Iron Mask. Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if we're getting any MCU shows this year. I haven't heard any confirmation on that, but I do know there are some still planned, like Ironheart and a few others. So, um, we'll see when those
I'm looking
come around.
forward to the live action remake of Snow White.
Oh yeah, I guess that is this year too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess so. They finally put out a new trailer for. There's a Superman movie coming, the first Superman in the new DC universe that James Gunn is doing.
I've seen this trailer multiple times over the last couple of weeks.
It's got Hawkgirl and Green Lantern in it.
And Crypto, the super dog.
Yeah, it looks good. I can't lie. You know,
I'm not a Superman fan, but yeah, this looks really fucking good.
I trust James Gunn. He knows what he's doing.
I would like to see this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did the Guardians of the Galaxy.
And he did
Of course he's
and he did the good Suicide Squad movie.
See, okay. I had to laugh when I saw the trailer for this film in the theater.
Really?
It's yes, because it's advertising for a DC film
Yeah.
from the director of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought that was ironic and just kind of funny.
And you saw the trailer over a Disney movie, right? Which makes it even funnier.
Yes.
Because, like, Disney owns Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I saw that trailer on Christmas Day when we went to go see Mufasa. I saw it on the day after Christmas when Willow and I went to see Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think we saw it again when we went to see the Wicked sing-along on my birthday.
Just looking real quick, too, at a list of movies that are coming out. 28 years later is coming out. Jurassic World Rebirth. Happy Gilmore 2.
Yes, I'm excited for Happy Gilmore 2.
Karate Kid.
That'll be fun.
Karate Kid Legends.
Oh, yes, Karate Kid Legends. That's going to be a good one. I'm excited to see. So the story, I've seen the trailer for this in theaters, and Mr. Han, from my understanding, at one point knew Mr. Miyagi. So Daniel LaRusso traveled to China. I don't know what that. So here, hold on. This is, dude, it looks so fucking good. This is gonna be a trip to the movie theater for me.
While you're looking that up, I just want to say real quick that the Death of a Unicorn movie coming out by A24 looks fucking great. Like,
Yeah, it
I'm
does.
all in on that. Like an A24 movie with Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega.
Yes.
And it's literally about they kill a unicorn and then like they run it over like a deer or something, and then
they're trying to figure out what it is. They're trying to figure out and then Jenna Ortega's. Let's just say it's a fucking unicorn.
and then the unicorn's, I'm guessing, mom or whatever comes and starts hunting them down, and it turns into a horror movie.
It looks so good. I'm here for it. So the plot for Karate Kid Legends. Kung Fu prodigy Li Fong is uprooted from his home in Beijing and forced to move to New York City. When a friend needs his help, Li enters a karate competition. Li's teacher, Mr. Han, enlists original Karate Kid Daniel LaRusso for help.
Oh, okay.
I am so fucking excited for this. So excited.
So, I guess the live action How to Train Your Dragon is supposed to be this year too.
Okay.
They're doing a Wolfman horror movie. Um, of course, then there's the final Mission Impossible. There's a Peter Pan horror movie slasher coming out.
I heard about that.
Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's coming out in a movie called Flight Risk. There's a new movie in the John Wick universe called Ballerina coming out.
Okay.
There's that horrible looking Minecraft movie with Jack Black as Steve.
My daughter's excited to see that one. She said she wanted to see that one in theaters. I'm like, fine. I didn't foresee myself going to the movie theaters to see this movie, but I guess. I'm sure there'll be a popcorn bucket to go with it.
Sure.
Can Microsoft capitalizing on yet another product?
Avatar 3, Fire and Ash, is supposed to be this year, I believe. And I think Tron 3, Tron Ares, is supposed to be this year as well, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I guess they're doing a remake of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes, I did hear about that.
So
that has been confirmed.
And they're doing a movie based on the Nickelodeon show Henry Danger.
That could have... Nobody asked for that.
No. Oh, right. Final Destination 6, Bloodlines. I doubt it's actually going to come out this year, but tentatively that's what they're shooting for.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, they did confirm that there's a Final Destination Bloodlines movie.
Oh, another Final Destination film. That'll be a trip to the movie theater for sure.
Oh, and then Freakier Friday, another Freaky Friday movie that is a legacy sequel to the original.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
And, okay, so you remember how after you watched my top 10 list and I asked you about Silent Hill 2, you were like, if that was a movie, I'd definitely watch it, because, it looked good, didn't it? Ryan said when he watched that top 10 list, I asked him about it because he was curious about the game. I'm like, so what do you think? You think you'd play it? And he said, it looks scary. And I'm like, well, that's a good thing, right? It's a horror game. And he's like, oh, yeah. No, he's like, that won't stop me from playing it, but it does look legitimately terrifying. So there is supposedly they're working on a movie called Return to Silent Hill, a live action movie.
Ooh,
and from what I understand, this is supposed to be because they've made 2 live action Silent Hill movies before that are loosely based on the games, but not a direct adaptation. The woman that is the protagonist of the first movie is based on the protagonist of the first game, and there's a lot of similarities there. But this movie, Return to Silent Hill, apparently is a live-action retelling of Silent Hill 2, which is the best story in the series about James looking for his wife in Silent Hill and facing his inner demons and stuff in the process. And they already have the movie casted. They got Jeremy Irvine to play James Sunderland. So there you go.
You know what else is supposed to come out this year?
What?
Expected April 25th, 2025. The movie adaptation of Until Dawn.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they were doing that. I'm
so fucking excited.
Where's my fucking God of War Amazon show already, damn it? It keeps getting delayed. At this point, I'm afraid it might not be good. Apparently the Yakuza
really
like a Dragon show on Prime wasn't good.
I'm looking at the casting list.
It's not the same people.
No, and that upsets me. The guy that plays Dr. Hill is the same person.
Yes, Peter Stormare or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was the original Silent Hill movie in 2006 and then Silent Hill Revelation in 2012. So yeah,
Yeah.
if this if Return to Silent Hill turns out to be a real thing, you definitely got to watch that. Uh, because if it is a live action adaptation of the Silent Hill 2 game, then it is the perfect psychological horror story. Like it
Okay.
does like as far as psychological horror goes, it doesn't get much better than Silent Hill 2. In fact, Silent Hill 2 is based well, inspired by, not based, but some parts of it are inspired by a great psychological thriller movie called Jacob's Ladder. So,
Okay.
yeah, which is also in itself based on a book. um, there's just because the lore behind Silent Hill itself, like the actual town, is that anyone that goes there and gets trapped in there is forced to face their own inner demons. So the things that they see and are experiencing are like their own worst fears and nightmares, and it's a different experience than what other people that they run into are having. They're all trapped in this nightmare town, but they're all seeing different things depending on what their own fears and mental health issues are.
Yeah.
That's like so like I represented that in the video where the guy he was talking to was eating ice cream with his hand, and whenever he talked cold breath would come out of his mouth, and it's
Mm.
because that guy, even though when you meet him he's sitting in a movie theater watching a movie, in his version of the town he's trapped in a meat freezer.
Okay.
So what you see isn't what he sees. You know,
Right.
it's yeah. So yeah, I think you would really like it because it's very psychological. Um, messes with the head.
Do we have
Yeah.
anything else that we're
I don't.
looking forward
I,
to?
don't- I don't know if I have any most anticipated be like as far as things that are actually confirmed. I guess Assassin's Creed Shadows is my most anticipated confirmed game right now. Um, I don't know if I have a most anticipated confirmed movie. Oh yeah, I do. Lilo and Stitch live action remake. I'll go for that. Most anticipated confirmed movie and game. And TV show, probably the new season of South Park whenever that starts.
For
So, what
me,
about you?
most anticipated movie. Oh, there's so many good ones coming out this year. That's gonna be a tough one. If I had to pick one, probably Wicked for Good.
Okay.
Most anticipated game.
With a confirmed release date so far, because I know it would be GTA 6 otherwise. But
Yeah. Oof.
I did mention a couple of them coming out in the next couple of months: Tales of the Shire, Monster Hunter Wilds, Split Fiction.
Split Fiction, hands down. I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that would have
Um,
been my next choice after Assassin's Creed.
Most anticipated show
Or season.
or season. Uh oh, season 2 of Wednesday is coming this year too.
Is that this year? Okay.
That is this year. That's coming in, I think, February.
Oh, I think we're getting the final season of Stranger Things this year too.
Yeah.
Finally.
But if I had to pick a show, Cobra Kai.
The third and final part.
Third and final part of season 6, capping off the show.
All right. Sounds good to me. Okay. Well, is there anything that's not in those categories coming out this year that you know of?
Not
Any
that
like
I can think of. No.
any artists you follow have any confirmed album releases coming out this year or anything?
Not that I've noticed. No, not that I can think of.
Me neither. So, all right. Well, that works for me then. Okay, folks. Well, that was our look back at the year of 2024 and our look forward at 2025. I have foregone any New Year's resolutions this time because I sure as fuck didn't fall through with them last time.
Yeah, same.
And I'm just not going to put that heavy standard on myself anymore. Screw it. Whatever happens, happens.
Pretty much.
But let me know, folks, in the comments down below if you're watching this on YouTube about your favorite, stuff from last year among all those categories and what you're looking forward to most in 2025. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to smash that like button. Also, you can email me at podcastoversoul@gmail.com or message me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Oversoul53.
You can find me over on TikTok at TheGamingFiend1, over on Twitter at TheGamingFiend1, and on Blue Sky at TheGamingFiend1.
All right. And that'll be it for this one. We made it through the season 3 premiere. This is the beginning of a new year, the beginning of a new season of the show. Look forward to all kinds of fun stuff coming. And we'll see you in the next episode in a couple of weeks, where we're going to be taking movies that exist and making Muppets versions of them. And
that'll be fun.
And we should officially have our third cast member in that show. Granted, no other emergencies happen on that day. So
yes.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.